After a 139-hour delay, the Pittsburgh Steelers finally played against the Baltimore Ravens in what was originally set to be a Thursday Thanksgiving night game. And with another week of the NFL season finishing up, it's time for another injury report video. So today I'm going to be giving you guys the NFL Week 12 injury report. What's up everybody, it's AC Analysis, and like I said in the intro, today I'm going to be giving you guys an NFL Week 12 injury report video. And I know that this video is coming out a bit late, usually it's out on Thursday, I'm sorry that it's going to go out on Friday, but I did not want to miss any injuries from possibly the Steelers vs Ravens game, which was delayed back because of big COVID-19 outbreaks on both the teams. Because if a notable player got injured, I would miss it in my video, and I did not want that to happen. But before we get started, if you guys enjoy consistent football content, remember, liking and subscribing would be really helpful. We're on the road to 100 subs now, and every sub helps. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. Actually, before we get started, it's time for the shoutout of the video. And the shoutout for today's video goes to Swish Productions. He makes a cool variety of NBA content, and you guys should really check him out. And if you guys want to have a chance to get your channel shouted out, make sure to comment down below for a chance. And we can help all of our channels grow together. And now, let's actually get into the video. We're going to start off the video with a pretty big injury, and that is to the starting wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, DJ Moore. And in a play that would have won the Panthers the game, Teddy Bridgewater threw the ball behind DJ Moore, and in a non-contact injury, he seemed to have fell awkwardly and really hurt his knee. And that play would have won the Panthers the game, but the Vikings came from behind and won the game 28-27. But when you looked at the injury, it looked very scary. It looked like he was going to miss a few weeks to even the entire season. And that would be very unfortunate since even when he was a rookie in 2018, he played very good. First season, he had 55 catches for 800 yards and averaged 15 yards per catch. While in 2019, he really popped off with 1,200 receiving yards on 87 receptions, averaging another 14 yards per catch. And on 2020, he was at the exact same pace with 50 receptions, 1,000 yards. DJ Moore was playing like a real number one wide receiver for the team. And his knee injury is not expected to make him miss too much time. He's expected to possibly miss their next game against the Denver Broncos, but lucky for DJ Moore, the Panthers are going into a bye week next week. So DJ Moore has a solid chance. The head coach said he has a solid chance of playing against the Broncos, but it's unconfirmed yet, and we still really don't know how serious his injury is. The next injury I'm going to talk about is the starting center for the Green Bay Packers, Corey Linsley. And in their impressive win against the Bears in the second quarter, he had his ankle rolled up and now has an MCL sprain and is expected to miss 3 to 6 weeks. And Corey Linsley's been with the Green Bay Packers since 2014, but in the past few years, he's really solidified himself as one of the most consistent and best centers in the NFL. And Corey Linsley being out hurts the team since they've had lots of offensive lineman problems this year. Luckily, they have some versatile pieces, so they will be able to put a player at center. And currently, the Packers are in the hunt for a number one spot in the NFC, trying to get that nice first round bye. So Linsley being out will hurt the running game quite a bit, but I don't think it'll really stop the Packers from having a chance from winning it. And at the end of the day, what's important is Linsley will be back for the playoffs at most. So let's hope he can get back, and we'll see what happens. Another impactful injury on our list will be to the Saints starting cornerback Janoris Jenkins, and in their dominating win against the Broncos, he suffered a knee injury and did not return for the rest of the game. And Jenkins has been in the league since 2012, and he's been elite the entire time. He started his career with the Rams, then moved to the Giants, where he really became elite, and then he moved to the Saints, and this season already, he has 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown, and 37 tackles, really showing no signs of slowing down, even though he is an 8-year veteran. But he has a knee injury, and his injury is not expected to be too serious, and he's expected to play their next week's game against the Falcons, but he's not going to be 100% healthy, and he won't take all the snaps. And this is unfortunate because the only healthy cornerbacks on the Saints now are Marshawn Lattimore and CJ Gardner-Johnson. And the Saints are playing some pretty pass-happy teams. They're playing against the Falcons next week. Then after that, they're playing against the Chiefs and the Panthers. So the Saints really need their cornerbacks to step it up, and hopefully Janoris Jenkins can get better soon. We don't know what's going to happen to him, but the injury's not too serious, and he should be back in time. The next injury I want to talk about is an injury to another offensive lineman, and that is the starting left tackle for the Colts, Anthony Castonzo. And in their abysmal loss to the Tennessee Titans, Castonzo had an MCL injury and did not return for the rest of the game. It's not really confirmed how much time he's going to miss, but there's some damage to the MCL to the point where they're expecting him to miss maybe 3 to 6 weeks. And this is bad since he's really been elite in the NFL since he was drafted in 2011. He's the main pass protector for Phillip Rivers. He's the one who really helps Jonathan Taylor and those guys play But will the Colts season playoff chances be ended by this? No. I just think it makes it that much more difficult for the Colts to make the playoffs after their horrible loss to the Tennessee Titans. But to be fair, the Titans did get a horrible loss to the Colts earlier in the season. I'm glad that I voice recorded this video after the Wednesday game because of this. Bud Dupree, a blitzing linebacker for the Steelers, suffered an ACL injury in their win against the Ravens in the second quarter and is now going to miss the rest of the season. And this is horrible because Bud Dupree's been playing really good. He has 31 tackles this year, 8 sacks, and most of Bud Dupree's career, leading up to 2019, he was seen as a bust or as a player who didn't play up to potential. But in 2019, he really popped off with his final 11.5 sacks. And in 2020, he was having a career year with 8 sacks, 31 tackles, and him and TJ Watt were a really, really scary blitzing core. So now the defenses can, focus more on TJ Watt and Cam Hayward and focus less on the other side of the ball where Bud Dupree was blitzing. And the Steelers, who really depend on their blitzing defense, will take a big hit from this, and it's unfortunate because Bud Dupree was finally having the career year everyone expected him to have. So this will hurt the Steelers, and it's kind of bad for Bud Dupree too, obviously. The final injury on our list will be to the starting quarterback for the New York Giants, Daniel Jones, and in their win against the Bengals, he suffered an awkward hamstring injury and is doubtful to return next week. His injury is not too serious and he's not expected to miss too much time, but the real reason that I'm really adding this into the video is the fact that number one, it's the starting quarterback, but number two, the NFC East race is so tight to the point where if you lose one game, you might not win the division. I know that the NFC East is really sad this year, but I really believe that the Giants had the best chance. But with Daniel Jones doubtful to return, Colt McCoy is going to be the starter for the Giants in their game against the Seahawks. And did I think that they were going to originally win that game? No. But because of Daniel Jones getting injured, and even though he wasn't playing that well, he's still a solid starter for a bad team. Because of that, I do believe that the Washington football team will win the division. And for all we know, Daniel Jones' injury might be more serious and he might miss 2 to 3 weeks. So we don't know, but the Giants have a very tough schedule ahead of them, so I'm telling you they probably won't win the division. With that being said, that'll wrap up this video. This has been AC Analysis talking about the biggest injuries from Week 12 of the NFL season. And like I said, I'm sorry that this video got out a little bit late. I just did not want to miss out on any injuries that happened during the Wednesday game. And thank God that I did do that, so I didn't miss out on Bud Dupree's injury. But before we end the video, remember, if you guys enjoy consistent football content, liking and subscribing would be really helpful. We're on the road to 100 subs now, and every sub helps. And if you guys want a chance to get your channel shouted out, make sure to comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.